Hi everybody, thank you for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk. What I have for you today is a very simple but pretty stunning set of cards, I think. This is using the brand new Flurry of Wishes stamp set from Stampin' Up, which you can buy today for the first time. It's by far my favourite set so far in the new catalogue. If you watch my blog, you'll know all of my projects this week are going to be using this set. I'm going to just slide off the belly band around the middle. If I can pull that off. It is a belly band. I know it maybe looked like it was a pure decoration, but it is a belly band and it will slide off. The box then opens up like this, or like that, depending on how you do. And inside I have three beautifully simplistic cards that I also made using Flurry of Wishes from Stampin' Up. These were on my blog yesterday and I know a lot of people saw them and really liked them. Show you them again. If you want to see these in a bit more detail, do pop over onto my blog where I have a lot of lovely pictures. They show you the Flurry of Wishes stamp set, but also the matching punch that it comes with, which makes punching out these snowflakes and layering them up really simple. So I will put these back into their box. These are, I know people say I don't say this enough, but these are standard A6 cards, A6 cards, which is USA 2, and their matching envelopes are in the bottom there as well. Let's close up the box. We can just show you that one side is slightly larger than the other. So this is designed so this flap is pretty central when it's closed, and the other one just folds underneath. So you've got a little bit of an overlap there. We will slide back on the belly band if it wants to be friends today. There we go. Okay, move this out of the way, and we will get on with showing you how we made it. So we are going to start with a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. This measures 11 1/4 by 8 inches. We're going to start scoring along the long side. We're going to score it at 2 3/8 of an inch, 3 1/8 of an inch, 3 1/8 of an inch, 7 3/4 of an inch, 7 3/4 of an inch, and 8 1/2 inches. Okay, all the dimensions will be over on my blog as always, so don't worry about rushing to write them down now. Along the short side, we are going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, just there, and at 7 1/4 inch. Okay. That is all our scoring done, so we will put the scoreboard away. And we will firstly just quickly fold and burnish those score lines we have just made. And last one just here. Okay, so just fold and burnish those to make them quite sharp. Now I'm going to cut up these lines here, here and here, so on both sides. Oh, sorry about that, escaping. Flip it over and do exactly the same along the other side. So just those 4 score lines up until they intersect the line going the other way. Okay, and then because this is quite a small fold, it is quite important to notch these out. It will just make it a lot neater as you fold it up by doing that. Okay, cut this one out here. Last one. Okay. Move those scraps out of the way. we're just going to use some Tombow to build it up together. What we need to do is put a bit of Tombow on the flap, that little flap that we've just made, the bit we notched out, and we are going to attach this on all 4 flaps to this middle section. So this end bit we are just going to leave completely loose. So just fold those up, and we are using Tombow, so just give it a second to dry. So again, a bit of glue on the inside of that flap, and then fold that up and hold it in place along the middle flap of the box. Okay, spin round and do this side. So just again, the Tombow goes on the inside, and then we fold it up and stick it to the middle of our box. Is that the one here? This is the last one. You can see which one still needed to be done then. So that one will then fold up and stick like that. And that is our basic box finished. So we can grab our envelopes. As I said, these are standard envelopes for A6, A2 card, and our 3 cards that we have. I will just pop those in as well. And you can see the box then folds up neatly among them. The box is 3/4 of an inch deep, so that's taking 3 of those cards. As I said, these are quite heavily layered, so we've got quite a lot of layers going on there. If you had cards that were a bit flatter, maybe 1 or 2 layers, you would find that you could fit more in there. So that box folds up like that, but these sides don't stay closed very well. Ooh, just going to take that little bit off the corner there. So what we need to do is put a belly band round there to keep that sealed. So we are going to start with 2 pieces of Whisper White. Now I've just cut these from a standard piece of A4 cardstock. So they measure 1.5 inches this way, and then standard A4 width the other way. If you're in the US, just use your standard cardstock. I'm going to use a little bit of snail on sort of the first half inch or so of each of one of the strips, and then I'm just going to put the other one on top to align that up like that. So we've got one really long, it doesn't even fit in my shot. Can I fit it all in shot? Just about there. One really long piece of cardstock. And what I want to do is then fold it in half along that join. So what I've done is, can you see? I'm not sure if you can see very well. This is where one piece meets the other, and I've just folded in half there. And if we fold it the other way, what we can see, that we'll use that on one of the edges of our box when we wrap the belly band round, and you won't see that there is a join there as much. Okay, before we do that, we need to decorate it. As I said, we are using a Flurry of Wishes, which is such a really pretty set, and we are using our 3 focus colours. So we've got Night of Navy, open that up, Lost Lagoon, and Smoky Slate. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to alternate these and stamp all the way along the length of my strip, which is going to become my belly band. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and then just purely by eye, whichever way round you want it to go, I'm just going to stamp these down. Going to clean that up. Sorry, need to clean that up. My Stampin' Scrub, then ink that up in Night of Navy, and just leaving a small gap between them. Oh, that's not very good. I knew that wasn't going to work on camera. It's not a very good angle with these photopolymers when I'm on camera. So what I did this in advance, so you can see just how it is supposed to look. So I've just gone all the way along that strip, alternating in my 3 colours. Okay, let me move these out of the way so we don't get too much potential damage of the ink. I'm going to bring my box back in, and what we're going to do is what we made that for, I'm going to put that level with the back of my box. Sorry, it's going to go this way. So along the back of my box, just there. And then I'm just going to pinch it over. If you pull that down, it will keep it, if you push that down, it will keep it in place. And then just pinch, sorry, again to bring it round on this side as well. Okay. You can then fold that over, and we can see where we then need to match it up. So I can see I just need to cut up. See where this piece of belly band goes underneath? I can see that if I cut just before that grey snowflake, that will give me a little bit to seal that closed. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to do a quick edit because my telephone started calling. So what I did is as I said, I've just cut off that snowflake just to the side of that one there. And you can see how if we bring our box back in and we wrap it round, we can see how that fits there. And I've just purely used scissors to cut that off. So I'm going to put a little bit of scrap cardstock underneath here, just so that any glue that squirts out when I do this sticking doesn't go onto the box. So I just want to put a little bit of Tombow along the edge. It's a bit too much. Along the edge of that strip, can you see there? Hopefully you can see I've just put a little bit of Tombow along the edge of that strip, which I know this one is going to fold over. We can get it into the middle, fold over, overlap, and that will stick in place for me. And that forms our belly band going around the centre of our box. Just give that a second. Pull off the excess that's squirted out and then pull out your scrap piece, and you can see your box is pretty nearly finished. So it is, as I said, pretty simple decoration. I did play around with a lot of different ways to decorate the box, but this was honestly the best of what I sort of thought was the best to coordinate with the cards. Very simple, but I think pretty striking. You know, less is very often more. You could use the punch to add some more snowflake embellishments around if you want, but I think it just looks nice just like this. I hope you give it a try. If you would like to order any of the stamp sets, the punches, the inks, anything from Stampin' Up, I would love it if you chose me as your demonstrator, and there's a link to my online store below, or please just get in touch. I will be back tomorrow on my blog with more Flurry of Wishes products. I hope you're enjoying the new catalogue, and I will see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.